Hey folks, in this episode we will be talking about a character who is dealing with suicidal ideation. This is a comedy podcast and we may be making light of the situation. Comedy can be a way to deal with dark thoughts, but if you or someone you know is feeling up against it, please don't hesitate to reach out to someone. Call 988 here in the States or go to findahelpline.com. Needing help is not a sign of weakness, and we here at Lost on Lost want you to stick around. The world is a bigger place and a better place with you in it, and we love you. Lost on Lost Season 2, baby!
Hell yeah!
We've watched Seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Lost, and we've learned a lot.
Did we?
And we've learned to love Jack, Kate, Sawyer, Boone, and Claire.
Did we?
But now it's time for Seasons 4, 5, and 6.
That's right, we're still going to talk about the mysteries and mythologies of the island.
And obviously hot tropical hookups.
But now we're going to talk about things like the freighter,
The Others,
Charles Widmore,
The Lighthouse,
time travel,
9/11,
Ronald Reagan,
The Catholic Church,
Titus,
Gold Chains,
the military-industrial complex,
the Prison Industrial Complex,
the Void,
The Orb,
and so much more.
So strap on and strap down, because if you thought last season was confusing,
This is going to be so much worse. Or better if you like being lost on Lost. Strap on.
you heard me.
I want two boyfriends, and I want the boyfriends to be boyfriends, and I want to be their girlfriend, and I want the boyfriends to take me out on little boyfriend dates where we're all boyfriends and girlfriends.
Welcome everybody to Lost on Lost. I am Adam Bush, and I'm joined as always by my two boyfriends, and by that I of course mean my faithful co-host JP Russell,
Yellow.
and also joining us is my financial advisor, the CL smoothest, the finally job havingest, CIA's most wanted, the Mad Dawg himself, Mad Money Mark Duntz.
Hello.
Yeah.
Best intro I've ever gotten in my life.
Mark, I'm about to liquidate my fucking 401k and invest in beans. What do you think about that?
Bushes?
Bush's baked beans, the best
There's
beans.
going to be some bushes involved once I get this money.
Welcome back to the show, Mark.
Love it here.
It's been a minute.
It has.
Eagle-eared listeners of the pod will, of course, remember Mark from our episode on Heroes, which you doubtfully, I doubt you listened to, because we shouldn't have did it in the first place. And prior to that, Dave.
The episode Dave.
A story about an invisible friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also from the Alex Tucci episode where we just ripped on Mark for a
Yeah,
while.
that's true.
Wait, what?
Oh, when Tucci was here, yeah, he was roasting you,
yeah.
like just dunking.
I know.
Like left, right, and center. So if you want to crank in a couple of cheap ones, now's your opportunity.
Yeah.
Screw that guy.
No. Not even going to warrant him with a diss. Love it.
Shots fired. Now it's Tucci's got to respond, and he's probably, as we speak, dropping a diss track on
Yeah.
Instagram.
He really not like us.
So Dave was like 2 years ago, and like,
Oh my God.
Heroes was like a year ago.
Yeah.
What have you been watching since then?
Oh, man. Recently, like for the last few months, it's been just all the murder docs on every streamer ever.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you recently find yourself in a relationship?
I mean, I did. It was
Okay,
9
so that
months
would
ago.
explain the.
But you know what's
that would
weird?
explain the true crime binge.
Hey, it's me. You
It's
know,
you?
gender stereotypes, throw them out the window. I'm the one dragging her to watch all of the murder mysteries.
Something in the look in your face that tells me that that's not true. But you're right. We should not be gender stereotyping out here.
Yeah. But she's white, right?
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Got it.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, murder docs. Any good ones? Anything worth a recommend?
Yeah. Honestly, like a lot of them, they stretch. Like,
Oh,
and
sure.
that can be very annoying. And
Sure,
that gets
yeah.
me to stop watching it almost instantly if
Yeah,
I'm just like
like there's
man, this could have been
padding.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
The one I'm watching now, I think, is called Stolen Youth, and I'm almost done with it.
Okay.
That one's pretty good. It goes at a good pace.
Good clip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I recommended one to you.
That's right. The Octopus
Murders.
And it is on my list. I actually am going to. I started watching another show that you used to talk about all the time, which is Mad Men.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been watching Mad Men recently.
That'll take a chunk of your life out.
But actually,
yeah.
I'm burning through it pretty quickly because I can watch it at work. It's unlike Shogun or something like that, where it requires my eyes on it at all times. I can just I can most of the time just listen to it. So I
Yeah.
can burn through a couple in a day if I'm at the office. When I'm on my lunch break and shit.
Yeah.
Not during
No. During
actual-
work
no,
hours?
Never.
God, no.
I would never. Do you guys want to talk about Lost?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sure. The fever dream that was?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Today we're meeting Kevin Johnson. Meet Kevin Johnson is the 8th episode of season 4. It is the 80th episode of Lost overall. Our central character is Master Plan Michael, Big Money Michael. It originally aired on March 20th, 2008. It was written by Elizabeth Sarnoff and Brian K. Vaughan and directed by Stephen Williams. Jokes. Adam, do you have a recap?
I do.
Let's do it.
C4? More like see me drink 4 beers and then try to fly that helicopter. On the island. Welcome to New Otherton. Population 10? John Locke institutes a no new secrets policy, causing Hurley to hide his CD player, Sawyer to hide his skin books, Claire to hide her baby, and Ben to hide $3.2 million.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we gonna get that money.
Meanwhile, on the freighter, Saeed Jaran, Desmond Hume, Spot, alias McFake Name, still out here looking like an album cover.
Mm-hmm.
And sometime between days 68 and 82 after the crash of Oceanic 815, Michael speedruns a mental and emotional collapse. It's called efficiency in storytelling, people. I think I went to elementary school with a guy named Kevin Johnson, and if he showed up on my boat, I'd be pretty confused and angry too. Not at him, of course, just the sequence of events of my life and what led me to being on a boat in the first place. It's Meet Kevin Johnson here on Lost on Lost.
Did the Kevin Johnson from your life do anything salacious? I mean, did he
I mean, the key phrase in there is elementary school, which means I have no fucking recollection.
Oh, okay.
It was
probably
an eternity ago.
He's probably fine. He's definitely not in Al-Qaeda. I don't even know why you'd say that.
I do remember him having, he had one of those slap bracelets one time at school.
We should get him on the pod.
Yeah, honestly.
For this episode. Sorry, Mark.
That's all right. Slap bracelets are pretty sick.
Right? Like, for that day, he was the raddest kid in school. So this episode aired after a month-long gap due to the 2007 WGA writer strike. There's a little bit of trivia for you.
We talked about this episode last episode, and yeah, we established that the events of Michael's adventure basically just take place over roughly 30 some odd days.
Yeah, it can't be any more than 30 days. He leaves the island on day 67 and returns to the island around day 82.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been busy.
We open on the barracks. Claire, Aaron, Rousseau, Alex, Carl, Sawyer, Hugo, and Ben are just hanging out. And then Locke brings in Miles.
They spend a long time just in silence.
They do. It's like, I gotta think it's a little awkward because like Ben's the former leader of the others. Now he's a captive. Rousseau really hasn't been inside a building in 18 years. They have a baby. They're fighting with Jack.
Nobody can agree on what the thermostat should be sent to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, I thought, I was wondering, because they're all just sitting there like.
I had my headphones plugged in but not on, and I totally missed that I didn't have the audio available to me, and then the door opened. I was like, there should be a sound effect here. And then I went back and watched it, and I was like, oh, I gained no new information by watching it with the sound on.
Yeah. Locke brings in Miles. He is tied up with all of the rope on the island.
All of it.
Every single inch. And he's like, all right, Miles is here to give us a presentation on why the freighter's here. And Miles is like, we're here for him.
Yep.
Pointing at Ben.
That's it. Basically, top to bottom, we need Ben. And then all the rest of you are disposable.
Right. That's what because Sawyer asks the question, well, why don't we just turn him in then? Ben says, well, once they have me, they're probably going to kill everybody on the island.
All you, yeah.
Claire says Ben can't be trusted. Like, everybody's like, why would you listen to a thing he says? And then Hurley's like, yeah, he won't even tell us about the spy on the boat. And then Ben's like, it's Michael.
I hated that reveal because it's like, how much more impactful would it have been if like Saeed just sees him?
Right, like if we just
like, who's the spy on the boat? Dun dun dun. Cut to the boat scene.
Yeah,
show us, don't tell us.
Yeah.
I also like that it was like, it's Michael, and then they were like blah 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 Michael. And I was like, yeah, that Michael. Like, well, who else, bro?
What other Michael? We've got one.
You know how many Michaels you guys know?
Right.
Michael like shot 2 women. Michael, why are you talking about old shit, Sawyer? That was, in the words of Adam Busher, that was weeks ago.
That was weeks ago. And to be fair, shot 1 woman and 1 cop. So. Yeah, we cut to the freighter. Saeed and Desmond are just taking a nap together, just broing down, relaxing. Like, it's been fucked up. Like, they've been on this island. Like, Desmond's been on the island for 3 years. Saeed's been there for 3 months. Like,
But yeah, alarms going off, and some guy who I think we've seen before, whose name I forgot, is just like punching eating the fuck out of some guy.
We have seen him before. We saw him in last time's episode.
Did we?
His name has not been revealed to us. It is not revealed to us in this episode. It's Galt. He is the...
Galt?
Galt. G-A-U-L-T. Galt.
Galt?
Yeah.
Galt sounds like, I don't know, like a frontiersman disease.
It's something you catch playing at Oregon Trail. Sorry, you
Right,
tried to
yeah,
ford
that's
the
what I'm
river
saying.
and you've died of Galt.
Yeah, right? That just rolls off the fucking tongue.
They haven't said his name. I don't know if they say it in this episode. They probably don't. I saw it in the subtitles and on Lostpedia. He's either the captain or the pilot, or helmsman, whatever. I don't know if he's fully in charge of the boat or if he's just... This scene makes it seem like he's the captain. Because, yeah, he's like fighting off like deserters. There's a raft like half over the bulkhead, and he's just like pounding dudes, puncher sizing them. And
Pounding dudes.
Dynamite drop in.
These guys, they're just trying to go for a little midnight booze cruise. Like, it's not the end of the world. Come on. But they're like, remember last time Radziski went for a booze cruise? He lost his mind.
Yeah, his brain started to leak out of his ears and his nose and shit.
Yeah. Actually, when you say it like that, it's pretty dope.
But yeah, he's like, you know what the punishment for desertion is? It's like an ass kicking? Like...
That's not so bad.
Like, I didn't know that was the punishment for desertion. Like, A, you gotta catch me first, and B, unless you break my fucking legs, I'm just gonna do it again. Like, the punishment for desertion should be, like, confined to quarters, locked in the brig, something like that. I don't know. And so, like, he kicks these two dudes, 2, 3, 1,000, I don't know. Is he the only one beating these dudes up? Or does he have, like, backup?
It's just him.
Okay, so it's just him. He beats up the escapees, the deserters, whatever. And then he's like, hey, Johnson, clean up this mess. And then Johnson's like, you got it, sir.
You got it, boss.
And then Saeed and Desmond look over there and they see Michael. And Saeed's like, he looks mad.
He's like, man, I haven't tortured anyone in a couple of weeks here.
Yeah. And Desmond's like, I don't have strong feelings about this man one way or the other. I don't really know him that well.
Yeah.
So, Mark,
Mm-hmm.
do you remember if Michael really featured that heavily in Dave?
No.
He didn't, or you don't remember? How did you feel? How were you feeling about the big reveal? This has been hyped here.
Has it?
On the pod for a little while, yeah.
That Michael's a spy?
That Michael's there, even in the first place. And then, secondarily a spy. Did it hit?
No.
Okay.
I actually didn't even get the vibe that was a big deal.
Understandable.
Well, he really hasn't been gone that long.
Yeah, I mean, like, the funny thing is, so, like, when he left at the end of season 2, a whole season of television went by, a big chunk of the 4th season went by, and then the writer's strike happened. So, like, in real time, he's been gone for close to 2 years.
Yeah.
Chronologically, yeah, they saw him about 4 weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, the way they dump the... And this, I don't know if this affected you at all, Mark, because you probably didn't even remember who Michael is. But again, in the first scene when they dump, oh, it's Michael. And then we cut to, it's like, of course we're waiting to see Michael. Because, like, he said Michael. It's like, okay, well, they're going to show us Michael. And then they do.
Yeah, no, I don't remember Michael at all.
Okay.
But also, the beginning of this episode was like, I did not see that as it being like a big dun-dun-dun moment at all.
Yeah.
It's not how they did it.
No.
No, well, because they said he was going to be there in the previous scene. So, like, again.
I think it would have been more of a surprise if he wasn't there, I guess.
Yeah. It's Frogurt, and they're like, whoa!
They spend in the first scene, Ben says, it's Michael, and then the rest of the episode goes by, and Michael's just not in it.
Yeah.
No, it's Mr. Echo, and then it's like, yo, is Ben racist as fuck? Does he just think all black dudes look the same?
Oof. Yeah, that would have been harsh. Saeed walks over to him, and he's like, what are you doing here? And Michael's like, I'm here to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, which... Pretty dramatic.
Yeah, like way too dramatic.
Like Get a hold of yourself.
Also a non-answer, like...
Yeah, that's really not what you're here for, per se.
Lost card flies through, and we cut to the barracks. Locke is walking Miles back to the boathouse where he is being confined. Sawyer comes up and confronts him. He's like, hey, man, I thought that we weren't going to have any more secrets. And then, why didn't you tell us about the $3.2 million bribe? And Locke was like, slipped my mind. I guess. I didn't think it was going to be that important. I didn't know you guys would care.
I've been under a lot of stress. Just sort of slipped my mind.
This scene is funny to me because they have this little back and forth. And then Miles is just kind of like off to the side laughing. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what's your fucking problem?
What's so goddamn funny?
He's like, he'll find a way to get the money. He's running your show already. Right. Like, he gets what he wants.
Right. Remember a couple of weeks ago when you guys were like ready to kill him, and here what did he say? He's inside eating
pound cake.
Eating pound cake. And then I was really upset when he was inside and actively not eating pound cake.
I know, just sitting in the exact same way he was previously.
Right.
Just like I was ready for some pound cake.
Show, don't tell.
Right. Show me the pound cake.
Show me the pound cake.
Yeah, we come back to the house over just a few feet away, and Ben is like, hey, I have a map to a secret sanctuary. And Alex, I want you to go there because this whole shit is going to pop off real quick, and I don't want you to get hurt. You go there, it'll be safe. It's a safe place for the others. You're one of the others. I'm the leader of the others. Carl's the others. It'll be fine. And she's like, well, why can't we all go? And he's like, I just said it's others only. Like,
it's like, we can't all be the 1%. Like, come on,
right.
go.
And Rousseau's like, no, I think he's right. I want to keep my daughter safe. They are her parents, he being her adoptive father, she being her biological mother. Like, the two of them, Rousseau and Ben, have this vested interest in keeping Alex safe. And then by extension, Carl, because like...
Which has got to be sort of a, like... I don't know. I can't imagine what Rousseau's going through because she's like, yeah, this guy does want to protect her and he does have a lot of resources that I don't have, but also he's the cocksucker that stole her from me in the first place. So
yeah, it's her love for Alex trumps her distrust of Ben in this instance because she's like, I'll take them there. I'll protect you on the way. It'll take them a day and a half. Who knows how fucking far away that temple is from the barracks.
Again, like, just like hands her this fucking cocktail napkin map, and it's like, here's a map to the thing. It's just like this corner of the island. Like that is not a map. It's not a map. I'm sorry, sir.
What's that kill face thing from Frisky Dingo? Indicate north. Otherwise, it's not really a map.
Yeah, there you go.
Just more of a drawing.
Give me a fucking grid coordinate or something.
They bail. We cut to the Kahana, which is the name of the freighter.
What is it?
The Kahana.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really that important.
Give me a few minutes to try and think of a wordplay joke. I got nothing right now. I'm dehydrated. Sorry.
Nah, we'll get it in before the end. Just as soon as you think of it, shout it out.
All right, got it.
I believe you, Kahana. That was bad. I'm sorry. Stop.
All right.
Don't whip out a sound bite.
Mark, we're going to wrap this one up.
No.
Lost Forever's Mark.
Said and Desmond go down to the engine room where someone is trying to fix the engine and Kevin Johnson is actively getting in the way, but making it look like he's helping. Kevin Johnson's like, oh, hey, Said, what's up? I've never seen you before. But Jerry, we need a pressure valve. Why don't you go to the storage room and grab one of those for me and come back in 45 minutes.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I was like, is Jerry still looking for that pressure valve at the end of this episode, or does Michael just tell the condensed version in like 3 minutes?
Yeah, right. Exactly. But yeah, so Jerry like wanders off. And so my only note here is Said and Desmond go to Michael, and Michael sets up the flashback.
Yep, that's it.
We're not going anywhere until you tell us how you got here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it all started, yeah.
Yeah, cut to the third longest flashback in the show's history. Or it's the second longest. It's a few seconds longer than Flashes Before Your Eyes, which is a Desmond flashback. And then, of course, shorter than the other 48 Days, which takes place entirely in flashback. So Michael's in a dingy New York apartment, and he's writing a suicide note. He's like, to Sawyer, I leave my half carton of Pall Malls. To my son Waltz, I leave... I don't know what I'm going to leave to Waltz. I honestly don't have much. Anything that's left in my apartment can go to Goodwill. Signed, Michael. See you next time.
Jin gets all my underwear. That's a weird gift, my dude. He doesn't want it.
So yeah, he goes down and gets in his car. He pins the note to his chest. He turns on the radio. It's Cass Elliott's "It's Getting Better," which I love. An ironic needle drop. It's one of my favorite things in movies and television. I love it.
Yeah, I thought it was who's the artist that we've heard a couple of times
Patsy
before?
Cline.
Yeah, just in the first few notes, I thought it was Patsy Cline. I was like, well, it's still a good tune.
It would have been funny if it was Downtown and then he fiddled the tuner and then it moved to Cass Elliot. When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always drive off the dock.
Oh. Anywho.
Later in this episode, Michael very easily gets his hands on a gun.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Despite the fact that that can happen, he decides that the most effective way to kill himself will be to drive his car into a shipping container on a wharf.
Right, which is crazy because, like, Walt's about to start driving. He could have given him the car.
It's in the note. If the car survives the wreck, give it to Walt so he can have, like, a fix-it-up project like Hugo.
I have comprehensive coverage on this. Make sure he buys something reliable, like a Nissan Altima.
He pounds into the shipping container, doing 65, 70, something like that.
I was waiting for it to be like an oceanic shipping container, like a Whitmore, like a Dharma fucking shipping container.
Dharma shipping container. Yeah. Here's the thing: I've seen the show before. I remember this episode pretty vividly, and so I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, the engine's gonna quit on him or something, and it's gonna he's gonna lose power, and he'll just like roll to a stop and just bump into the container, and he'll be fine. I thought that was what was gonna happen. So when he actually hit it, I was like, oh shit.
Oh, damn.
But then I realized when we cut to the hospital, I was like, oh, he just lives. He just lives. Okay.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Like, impossibly.
And then it's just like real quick out, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like overnight.
Yeah. Like, just like, an overnight stay in the hospital. Well, he didn't, oddly enough, he didn't go through the windshield, despite the fact that his car probably didn't have seatbelts.
He should have.
He should have.
Yeah.
100% should have. Should have been a heap on the hood, just a pile of clothes.
New hood ornament.
Yeah.
But yeah, he he's in the neck brace. He's got oxygen and all this stuff. There's some other guy who's all banged up next to him. And someone comes in, looks like an orderly or something like that. But then we recognize this person.
I recognized her voice immediately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not.
Welcome back to the show. Cynthia Watros, who played Erin Fitzpatrick on Titus for 3 seasons.
Jump scare.
It's a jump scare for me because I knew I was going to have to fucking listen to Adam again.
Look, if you aren't watching Titus, what are you doing? That's my question.
Fair.
Yeah, Libby is one of the people that Michael shot back at the end of season 2. This is a ghost or a vision or an apparition or something. He also hears the whispers, which is the first time we hear the whispers off the island. It's all very spooky and creepy and whatever. And she's like, hey, what's up, Mike? And I thought she was going to like strangle him with the blanket because she's carrying like a pile of linens or something like that.
Yeah.
What did she say?
She
anything?
just says like, you want a blanket? And then it kind of cuts out.
Yeah. And then it cuts to the real nurse.
That was scary enough.
Do you want a blanket? Oh, God. But yeah, it turns out he snaps out of it. It's the real nurse. And she's just like, hey, you don't have any ID. Do you want us to call Walt? He's like, how did you know?
What?
Why would you say that name? And she's like, it was in the note that you pinned to your chest.
Oh,
and
right.
he's like, right. No, don't, don't call him. No, don't tell him what's up.
His cell phone's out of minutes this month.
Yeah, he gets out of the hospital immediately. Doesn't need the neck brace anymore. He's fine. He's got a little bruise like on his cheek.
One of those TV injuries.
Yeah, pretty much.
He goes over to his mom's house, knocks on the door. She comes out. She's like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. And he's like, I need to see him. She's like, he doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to see you. And then she goes on her thing. He's like, you don't have any rights anymore because you're not telling me the truth about what happened. We all thought you were dead. Then you show up, but you say you can't tell anybody that, or I can't tell anybody that you're back. I can't tell anybody that Walt's here. Like, you got no scratch with me unless you tell me the truth.
Right.
And he's like, well, I can't. So will you tell him I love him? And she's like, sure. And then he starts to walk away. We see Walt in the window.
Just it's so like he's obscured for a second because obviously the reason the Walt's not on the show, right? Because like he's rapidly going through puberty,
6.5 feet tall now.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look at him like, what's going on with Walt there? And it's like, you just see when he's going, and he's pulling the what's his name, the James Franco from from Spider-Man, just like looking down from the balcony. Like,
yeah. According to the Trivia and Lost Peter, that's actually the archival footage from season 1 that they superimposed into the window.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They didn't even get the real Malcolm David Kelly to like. They didn't even like have him standing like on his knees in front of the sill. So
really?
It's just archival footage.
That's interesting. Okay.
So he's like, well, the car didn't work.
Time to go to Old Reliable.
Goes to the pawn shop around the corner from his mother's house, I'm assuming. And just like immediately he's like, how much for the watch? And he's like, why is there Chinese on here? It's Korean. Racist. So why is there Korean on here?
You don't look like you speak Korean, you piece of shit.
More racism. Dude, I hate this pawn shop guy. Go to a different pawn shop. Go to a more woke pawn shop. But yeah, he's like, I'll give you $300. He's like, I don't want money. Give me a gun and bullets.
Waffle
And the
fries.
guy's like, fuck yeah. It's like, you betcha you do, buddy.
This guy's hardcore. And so I'm assuming they used the gun show loophole to give him a gun and bullets immediately.
Well, I don't know, because New York, especially, like, maybe he went to Jersey or something, but then, like, how do you get it with a New York ID? Like, I don't know.
It's obviously illegal. Like,
Yeah.
whatever's happening here, which is fine.
Let me see what I got in the back.
Yeah.
You're going to need a lot of bullets, friend? Nope.
He got a whole
You
box.
got a whole box, yeah.
Yeah, so he grabs the gun. He goes into the alley in between his mother's house and the pawn shop, I'm assuming, because this all, again, happens very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in there. He's trying to load the gun. He spills bullets all over. Like, relax.
Right.
Like, are you in a hurry?
To kill yourself?
like, it'll happen.
take your time.
Like, yeah, like you've got all night.
What's the anxiety for?
Jesus.
That's me when I think there's a home intruder. I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. I'm just spilling bullets everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm shitting my pants.
Yeah. Then the home intruder slips on all the rounds that are split on the floor, like micro machines, like in Home Alone. It's like,
And then he also slips on my micro machines.
yeah. Then you're like, fucking got him.
Those were expensive micro machines. Blam, 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 blam.
And that's why we practice. He's about
Yes,
to.
Mark, the micro machines are a sex thing, okay?
I got it.
Stop fucking looking at me like that.
He's about to shoot himself, and then a dude is like, "Hey, man, you got the time?" And he's like, yeah, "Time for bullets." Stops him. And again, this is another voice I recognized. It's MC Gainey. It's
Hey.
Tom Friendly, one of the others.
Back again.
Well, once Michael recognizes who it is, they have a fight. He's like, he goes to shoot him, doesn't work, punches him.
I just wanted it to be more like the alleyway fight in They Live.
Oh, that would have just 5 minutes straight. Just like that.
Put on
Like
the glasses.
suplexes, fucking
Like
like.
him trying to shoot himself.
Yeah, just like him, yeah. And Tom just keeps like moving his hand away, like yeah. But yeah, their struggle ends up with Michael holding a broken bottle to Tom's throat, and Tom pointing the gun at Michael. And I was like, that's not a threat. Because Michael drops the thing, he immediately drops the bottle. He's like, do it. He like
Do
puts
it,
his, yeah.
please.
And he's like, I'm not gonna do that.
You weirdo.
Yeah, you big weirdo. I need your help. And he's like, why would I help you? And he's like,
Yeah.
it's for the show, man. Let's just
Are you going to progress the plot or what?
Move the goddamn needle forward.
yeah. He's Tom says he's like, I know what you're up to. The island's not gonna let you kill yourself. You've got work to do.
Okay.
Michael's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And Tom's like,
I fucking hate that.
yeah, and Tom's like, give it a shot. You know, once you figure out that I'm right, I'm at the Hotel Earl in the penthouse.
Of course he's in the penthouse.
This is the height of luxury. A delicious cheese pizza.
All to myself.
In the back seat?
Limousine? Oh my god. Credit card? You got it. So Michael goes home and he's like, why would I kill myself in an alley when I could kill myself in the comfort of my own home?
Yeah, and he goes to pull the trigger and doesn't go off.
And wouldn't you know it, Codflabbit?
Yeah.
The dang thing jams. Jamorama.
Which is buck wild, because revolvers don't jam.
Well, I mean, if the timing's off, I mean, you might have to click it, but you got a 1 in 6 chance of it going off
Right.
at least. So
Yeah, so doesn't go.
he tries again.
Yep.
He tries a second time.
Yeah.
And he looks and like
It's fully loaded. There's 6 rounds in
He
this.
shows the cameraman over his shoulder. He's like, look, I got 6 in here. Like, do you see this shit?
This is why I put all
Yeah.
the bullets in it in the alley.
Yeah.
In case one of them was a dud.
It's interesting though because none of the primers had like a light strike on them because you'll see a little indentation on those, which either means that the timing is off on your cylinder or magic.
While he's trying to make the gun work, on the news he sees that the wreck of the Oceanic Flight A15 has been found at the bottom of the ocean.
Fuck.
Yeah, and he's like, "What? That's not true. That's fake news. Because I was just there, probably like a week ago.
That's weird.
A lot of shit has happened,
suspicious.
but
I've gone through a
Just
lot,
happened.
but like I was like literally just there. So was this other guy that I just saw a guy in an alley who was also recently there.
Well, and that goes to the point that like his mom was making, being like, I can't use your real names, like you can't explain where you were. Like he knows that him saying like going around telling anyone that he's an oceanic survivor is fucking crazy bananas.
Yeah. So based on that, he goes to the hotel, I guess that same night. Like just heads right over
immediately.
Yep. Tom's like, oh, I didn't expect you so soon. Let me get rid of my date.
That's where I want this show to be able to swear. Like Michael see that and just go, oh fuck, and then Tom's like, I didn't expect to see you so fucking soon.
I was gonna have a good time here. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that an earlier reference to Tom's sexuality got cut from an earlier episode of Lost on Lost. There's a scene in a season 3 episode in
With
which Kate he gives her like a dress to change into because her clothes are all filthy, and she's like, stop looking at me, you pervert. And he was like, you're not my type, and like walks off. It's because he's gay.
I just thought he meant he didn't like bitches. He wanted to date a nice lady.
Yeah. I don't date people who smell like old flip-flop. This Arturo gentleman's got nice cologne. He's got nice hair. He's a very handsome dude. But yeah, he's in this penthouse. He's got the spread. He's got the booze. He's got a date.
What? He's got a spread of fruit. I'm like, you eat fruit
know.
on the island.
I didn't even realize that. Because, his next line is like, I don't get many chances to get onto the mainland, but when I do, I like to indulge myself. It's like,
And then just eats grapes.
yeah, you can fucking eat grapes on the island. Like,
Yeah. You know what you can't get? A fucking McDouble. Anyway.
Yeah. So Michael's like, what the fuck? And he's like, that's a fake. We know it was planted there by a guy named Widmore. He's trying to throw people off the trail of the island. If everybody thinks 815 is crashed, people will stop looking for it. He can look for it on his own.
And then he can go hurt all your friends.
Yeah. And Michael's like, I don't believe you. And he's like, did the bullet bounce off your skull or did the gun just jam? Like, I was right? Like, you can't kill yourself,
you
right?
can't fucking die yet. The island has decided you are not allowed to die. You have purpose still to fulfill.
Part of me wanted Tom to throw him out the window
Oh,
that'd be sick.
and then him hit the sidewalk and survive, injured, but like be alive and be.
Oh,
and
no,
then,
I thought he'd hit like 9 awnings on the way down. And then he lands in a fucking mattress cart or something like that.
Yeah, it bounces off of it and just lands on his feet. And then, like Tom is like already down there and it's like, see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he shows Michael all this proof. They've got copies of a purchase order for a fake or an old 777. He's got photo evidence of Widmer doing some grave robbing, all this stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not fucking with you. Like, why would I go through all this effort?
Right.
He's just got that in a file on hand.
Yeah. In case Michael was skeptical, which, sure.
Yeah.
He should have thrown him out the window, though.
I would have thrown him out of the window.
Yeah. Be like, see?
It would have been way more effective.
It would have been a lot like more funny if the episode had like 5 minutes of him like different ways of attempting to die.
Yeah.
And instead of it being just like the bullet hits him in the head and then doesn't do anything, it's all kind of like Final Destination-esque, but in like opposite day.
Reverse.
Yeah. So just like random shit happens and he can't do it. Like the awnings, and he's just like,
I honestly thought that happened in this episode. Like, I was like, before I was watching it, I was like, oh, right, this is the one where he tries to kill himself a bunch of times.
like he goes through the window and it's just a thing full of pillows and he's like, ah!
Yeah. Yeah. He's about to he's crossing the street and he's about to get hit by a bus, but then like a dump truck hits the bus and they both miss him.
It's like, God.
He's doing the Batman with the bomb. He's just trying to blow himself up, but he can't find a good spot for it. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, the others want Michael to work for them, protecting the people on the island, not only his friends, but also the remainder of the others. So Ben and all of his people. It's like, you got to go on there because like you can redeem yourself by doing this.
So there's a boat that's leaving Fiji in a couple of days. Here's a fucking fake passport. You got to get your ass over there and you got to fucking get on that boat.
Yep.
Let me drive the boat.
Yep. So he arrives in Fiji. He meets Minkowski, super nice guy.
He's really nice.
So like happy to have him. He's like, yeah, come on in. Just introduce yourself around. Come out to the coast. We'll have a few laughs.
If his brains hadn't leaked out of his head, we would have loved to have seen some more.
Love to see some more of this guy. But yeah, he did suffer island sickness and his brain is liquid.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us.
He bumps into Naomi, still alive. She's like also really nice to him. She's like, are you from New York? I can tell by your accent. And he's like, are you from Manchester? I can tell by your accent.
Just hitting it off.
Yeah.
Michael's got that riz, man.
Yeah.
Michael's just rizzing ladies up left and right.
And he recognizes a Manchester accent because he was friends with a guy from Manchester.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Yeah, Charlie. Charlie was from Manchester. Naomi's like, hey, a crate was delivered for you. I'll put it in your berth. And he's like, thank you. And he goes on board and he meets Miles. And Miles is eating an orange. And he's like, hey.
Your name's not Kevin.
Yeah, your name's not Kevin Johnson.
James. Like, hey, first you make last name. Like,
Yeah.
What's your deal?
Yeah. And he's like, don't worry, man. 90% of the people in the boat are telling the truth or telling lies about something. And I'm like, okay, who are the 10% that are being honest?
Right.
What's going on here? This is all like, it's all being set up very strange. It's all being set up really fine until you get to Miles. And then Miles is like, everything's weird.
I also don't get who the other deckhand is, like bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's going to take the things, the boxes to anybody's berths,
It'd be him.
It would be him.
Yeah.
And then like
take your own shit.
every scene of him on the boat is him kind of like just chilling.
There's one scene where he's scrubbing a wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise he's just kind of hanging out.
He's just kind of hanging, and I'm just like, you have the worst job.
Yeah.
I'll have it sent down to your berth by you later.
That's what she should say. How about you take that? Because that's your job.
Yeah, that's your job.
And then come back and get anybody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just waiting until he's in his room and comfy, and then he's got his shoes kicked off, and then she hits him over the intercom. Come get your shit.
Yeah. Come take this to your berth and then help us fucking load this the pile of shit here.
I genuinely did think that was weird, though, because I feel like the vibe of those boats are very just like, they're kind of salty sailor dudes.
Yeah.
And it was like he was getting on a cruise.
Yeah, like a pleasure cruise. Like,
Everyone was like, oh my God,
so
welcome
nice
for your...
to see you.
Like, have a good stay.
Thursday night's going to be a limbo contest.
Yeah. And I was like, he's showing up to like a salty sailor spittoon group, and he's the bottom of the and everyone's like, oh my God.
It makes close to zero sense.
Almost none.
He gets a call from Tom. Tom's like, hey, so you're starting to meet some people and you're getting cold feet, right? Like you
learn their names.
These aren't random henchmen. These are real people. And you're bothered by that, right? And he's like, honestly, yeah, because I'm not really I'm not like a murderer.
Right.
Like,
I didn't sign up for this because I'm super jazzed about killing folks on boats.
I gave you guys the wrong impression about my stance on murder when I murdered those two people in the earlier episode. Like I didn't want to do it.
That's my bad.
And he's like, fuck all that, do your job, throw the phone away, get your shit together.
Yeah.
And he's like,
is he that close to all the people on the island?
I mean,
because it was kind of like
varying degrees of them.
He was like, you have to save all the people on the island, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, so you have to kill these 10 people instead.
Yeah.
Well, he does feel bad because he betrayed the people on the island like multiple times.
Yeah. I think he is close to like Jin and Sawyer, or at least he was.
Yeah, and Hurley. Everybody likes Hurley.
But because of his betrayal, like it's no longer reciprocated. Like everybody on the island hates him. But it's a lot of guilt and a lot of weird shit that he's dealing with, and it's again speed run here a little.
Yeah.
This could have been a season, but it's fine.
Later, he meets Frank. Frank seems to be that Frank is in the know. He's like, yeah, I know why we're headed out here. The plane crash on the news was a fake.
Yeah.
We're trying to find the real thing.
He's like, what? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Is Frank just like a fucking conspiracy nut? Like,
Well, and it turns out he's part of the 10% that's probably not. Like, Frank's got no ulterior motive. Frank, like, just needed a job. They needed a helicopter pilot, and, like, they had no reason to lie to him. But, like, yeah, we're going on a treasure hunt for plane wreckage. You want to come? And he's like, hell yeah. Do you got enough space for my fucking coconut Mai Tai glasses and my Hawaiian shirt collection? And they're like,
yeah, sure.
Yes, we do. Based on that, Michael heads to his berth. He contemplates the crate.
I hate that it's called Berth. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't love it either.
What's that? There's that line from Lethal Weapon 4 when they're on the boat and Joe Pesci asks, he's like, where are the fishing rods or whatever? He's like, port side stern. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, is that on the left? He's like, it's in the back of the boat on the right side. He's like, why didn't you just say that, Roger? Like, why does it when people get on boats, everything turns into all fucking nautical? Like, a vast, a stern, a man the bilge pump my fucking ass.
I've also never heard it. I feel like I've watched a decent amount of random entertainment stuff where they have like rooms on a boat. I feel like I've never heard it called a berth before.
I've definitely heard
quarters,
of it, but like
quarters.
Like
I've
take
heard
this
quarters.
to your quarters. Yeah.
Like on
deck.
Star Trek, but that's a spaceship. But they all use all kinds of naval terms in spaceships anyway. So yeah, you would think it'd be the same.
Yeah.
Quarters. I've heard quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't want to say berth.
Later. Again, they're sailing from Fiji to wherever the island is hypothetically supposed to be. We don't know where the island is supposed to be, so this could take as much time as it needs to. He's scrubbing a wall and he hears some gunfire, and so he goes to check it out. And he's like, "I would rather shoot guns than
that
mop
sounds
this."
pretty fucking cool.
So he goes over there and he meets Kimi and the fucking mercenary squad.
Yeah.
He didn't see these guys until just now. Like, they were never on the boat, just like around. And
yeah, nobody was getting chow at the same time.
Yeah.
Didn't pass anybody in the hallway.
What are you guys doing?
It's
shooting guns.
Yeah,
I love that. It was like, what do you think we're doing?
Right.
It's like, it looks like you're shooting stuff in the ocean. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we're having a fucking blast. Thank you.
Can you go somewhere else?
We do not. Well, we do. We absolutely have enough guns for you, but we're not giving you one.
Right. He's doing a terrible job shooting him too. He's doing the like chicken wing thing, and I was like, stop. He's not bringing the weapon up to him. He's going down to it. It was like,
atrocious.
Calls the magazine a clip.
Yeah. He calls the magazine a clip.
These are clips.
So he's like, okay, this is fucked. I believe him now. Now I believe him. Now that there's a hit squad that I've seen with my own eyes, I'm willing to do what it takes. Time to open up the crate. Hopefully it's a bunch of guns and I can just fight my way out of this. That's what they want me to do. Maybe that's what the others are hoping I can fucking John McClane my way out of this boat.
I thought it was going to be the fucking Team America. It just opens it up and it's a hammer.
Nope. Turns out it might be a Halliburton case. But it's not the aluminum one. It's like matte black. But he takes it down to the engine room and he opens it, which makes me think he knew it was a bomb. Maybe.
Right.
He opens it up and it's full of C4 and a little thing. And so he's like, all right, what's the code? And he's like, oh, it's my mother's birthday. Shit.
I literally had to do that shit at the DMV the other day.
So he punches in the code and it's got an execute button on it, just like the computer in the hatch. And he's like, all right. All right, here we go. I love you, Walt. Presses the button. And a little flag comes out of it like a goddamn cartoon.
What the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck, man? Like,
Hey!
Jesus.
It's got a little thing on it. He tries the button again. He's like, it doesn't work. So he like pulls the thing off there and he unrolls it and just says in all caps, not yet.
Cool.
All right.
Why'd you give me this?
Right.
The scale that the others have on the island, you know what I mean? Like, yes, they're the others. Yes, Dharma's still dropping stuff off, but like they're able to get him a fake passport, and they already arranged for him to be the deckhand on this thing, and like Ben's got contacts all over the place. He's got the fucking butcher lady like in season 4 and all this stuff, and like not only can they make a bomb with C4, they have it hidden in a thing, and they got the little cartoon note that comes up. Like, what the fuck? This is some level of like spy writing that's just like, we just need it to happen.
Right. Like they're in the room, they're writing the script, and they're like, he wants to blow it up, but it's not time. Is there a way we can like put in a countdown, like a reverse countdown? Like he's got to wait until a certain time has passed, and then he can use the bomb. And somebody was like, maybe Ben made it so that it's got a little note on it that says he can't do it until a certain time. And then somebody was like, sure.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Why not?
And then they shot it. And then they did it. And on the day, nobody was like, you know what? We got to do something else.
Yeah.
Stephen Williams was sitting behind the camera at Video Village and be like, yeah, got it. We got it.
Sure. Move on. That's lunch, everyone.
I'm hoping that the Stephen Williams and Elizabeth Sarnoff were sitting on set in Video Village. He hits the button. The little flag comes up. Stephen Williams turns to Elizabeth Sarnoff. Elizabeth Sarnoff turns to him. They both have this look of like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But then they like look around at like everybody else, and then they like maybe see a producer on set, and the producer's like smiling,
so good.
and they're like,
Oof.
we got
Moving
on.
Jack Bender's just like, wasn't that great? And they're like, sure, Jackie boy.
Sure, Jack. Go paint another mural, you madman. Later, he's in his berth, throwing the tennis ball. Minkowski comes in, and he's like,
dude, this game looks sick.
can I play? It's like, no, it's a game of one. And he's like, are you turning into Jack Nicholson on us? And we're like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, Jack Nicholson from
The Shining.
Oh, I was going to do a joke, but I couldn't think of another.
Jack Nicholson from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
As good as it gets.
Easy Rider. Do another one.
The Departed.
None of them are funny.
Werewolf.
That's why I couldn't make a joke, because it's not funny.
What's the movie called? Is it just called Wolf?
Yeah, I think it's called Wolf.
Yeah.
I was trying to say The Color of Money, but he's not in that. I don't think.
What's the one with him and Diane Keaton?
Annie Hall.
Is that it?
No. I think that's as good as it gets.
No, is it?
I don't know. I never saw As Good as It Gets. He won an Oscar for that.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. All right, there it is.
Anger management.
Yeah. So Minkowski's like, are you turning into Jack Nicholson from Something's Got to Give?
You know, that Keanu Reeves, Amanda Peet, Francis McDormand, John Favreau vehicle. Something's got to give. I mean, it came out in 2003, so
he's like, you got a call, man. Somebody named Walt. And he's like, get out of my way.
Oh, shit.
Truck.
My son.
Yeah.
It's that audio. My boy.
My boy. Yeah. Oh, no, father. As he's heading to the raid room, I was like, there's no way it's Walt. And then it was Ben. He's like, hey, it's Ben. He's like, what do you want? And he's like, you can't blow up the bomb. I have a receiver over here that tells me that you tried to do it.
Yeah, he's like, holy shit, you tried to do it?
Yeah, he's like, I didn't think you were going to do it. And he's like, you can't yet. You gotta wait. There are innocents on that boat, chiefly amongst them Frank. Basically just Frank. You can't kill Frank. Everybody else is fair game, including you. He's like, okay, so he's like, I wanted to show you that when I go to war, I don't kill innocent people. I'm willing to go to war, but innocents will not get hurt on my behalf. And Michael's like, what about Ana Lucia and Libby? And Ben's like, whoa. You killed them. Do not hold me responsible. Nobody asked you to do that. Nobody especially asked you to shoot Libby.
Hey, Michael, if I'm being honest, that was pretty fucked up.
Like, if we could have got somebody else to do this, we would. But you're the only one who got off the island.
We approached Walt. The only problem is
he was too tall for all of our fake passports. So he's like, okay, so now that I know that you're willing to go all the way, this is how you stop the boat. Once it gets to the island, which is wild, why not just do it now? Disable the radio. And then, while they're distracted by the broken radio, break the engine too. Then it'll never be able to get here, despite the fact that it'll be a few miles offshore.
Also, hey, Ben, you could have explained that to me, like, in a means that, like, hey, we don't want to kill innocents, without having to get me to the point where I was ready to kill myself again. Like, Michael's going through some fucking mental whiplash right now, because he's had 3 times in the last couple of days where he's like, well, this is the moment of my death.
Right.
And then he doesn't die.
Yeah.
What a disappointment.
Yeah. Consider yourself one of the good guys.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Awesome. Cool. And then we cut back to the present, back on the Kahana. Michael's like, so that's how I got here. Meet Kevin Johnson.
Wow.
And Saeed's like, that I don't I shouldn't have asked.
Yeah. He goes, absolutely not.
I feel fucking dumber.
And Desmond is just like over to the side, like, I still really don't know this guy.
Dude, I think they're like those two together in every scene that they are together. Like it's like one guy's like overly aggressive and the other one's like, stop. Like, it's just like that was
Saeed,
a lot.
Saeed puts him in the hammerlock, and Desmond's like, Saeed,
it's like, come on, man.
Relax a little. Like,
relax a little. Just like, take it easy.
Again, I don't know this guy, and I don't really understand everything that he just said. Was whatever he said worth this? Relax. Like, it just actually doesn't seem all that bad or whatever. Saeed drags him into the captain's office, and he's like, this man is not who he says he is.
This guy's a real piece of shit.
And Galt's like, that's fine. 90% of the people on the boat are telling a lie anyway. So it's honestly, we knew.
Yeah. Who cares?
This man is Michael Dawson, not Kevin Johnson. He was on the plane. He was on 815. He is a traitor.
Yeah. And he's like, what kind of people do you think take these jobs?
Right.
Get back to whatever you were doing.
Did you drag him away from the wall he was mopping? Because
to tell me this bullshit.
You and Desmond here are passengers. And honestly, we don't want you here in the first place. So let him get back to work and you go back to your berth.
Yeah. He's a traitor. Did he fix the engine?
Because if he gets that working, I'm willing to overlook that traitor thing.
Yeah.
Sure would like it if that were fixed.
Yeah. Cut to the island. Rousseau is leading Alex and Carl to the temple.
Oh, boy.
They stop for water.
I forgot this scene happened.
They stop for a drink. She's like, take a couple minutes, drink some water, stay hydrated. That's chief among our priorities here. She's like looking at the map. I'm assuming it lost because it's not really a map.
Yeah.
And Alex and Carl have a little discussion about like, well, don't you think your dad's playing us? And he's like, well, he's hard to trust, but like, I believe he doesn't want me to get hurt. So like, it's like, okay, cool. And then Carl gets shot.
Yeah.
No,
there's a graze first.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of noises which sound like silenced gunfire, like television silenced gunfire.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then they're like, "Wow, what was that? A big mosquito." And then he gets shot.
Then he gets shot.
Yeah.
And then, which my first thought was like, whoever's shooting kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like two off first. That shooter had to have been like, "Oh fuck!"
It honestly, like, if you can make a connection there between Kimi's piss poor trap shooting and his on island shooting. It's like, oh, it's probably Kimi because he fucking sucks.
This guy fucking sucks. Yeah, it's man. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of caught me off guard. Like, I did not expect Carl to just get fucking smoked.
I knew that we already know that Rousseau died at some point because we've seen some season 5 and season 6 episodes. I didn't remember that it happened in this episode. So like after Carl gets shot, Alex freaks out and Rousseau's like, no, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. And he's like, take my hand. You can trust me. Like, it'll be fine. I'm gonna count to 3 and then we're gonna run. I love you. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. She stands up and immediately gets shot.
Dude.
Just like Spielberg's D-Day.
That's the end of Rousseau?
Yeah.
That fucking sucks.
I hate it. I hate it so much. There are a couple of funny things about this. Like, this is the first costume change she's had since she's been on the show. Because she spent the night in New Otherton, so she got clean clothes for like the first time in 4 months. And then she gets shot by some secret mercenary dickhead.
By someone off screen.
In front of her daughter?
What the fuck? I'm so fucking mad. Like,
Alex jumps up and she says, don't shoot, I'm Ben's daughter, which is pretty smart on her part. She makes the assumption that if they know she's Ben's daughter, what Ben said earlier, if they find out you're my daughter, they're going to use you to get to me. It's like, well, yes, but it'll also probably save her life. That is it. That is me, Kevin Johnson.
Jesus.
T2J Infinite. Jack Shepard did not appear.
One.
Yep. Also, Kate's not in this episode.
Ugh, I wondered why I was having such a good time.
Yeah, I noticed that in trivia because it was like Jack Shepard doesn't appear in this episode for only the fourth time in the series and like the second time this season. Also, Kate's not there. that was the trivia. She was in his trivia.
Oh yeah, about that.
So yeah, that's it. Did we like it? Was it good? That's the
Wow.
first question we're gonna ask here on the pod. Mark, kick it off.
Well, it was definitely an episode of a TV show.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was a fever dream to me.
Sure.
I was like grasping at straws to try to figure out what was going on. One, because I've never watched the rest of the show, but two, because I was having a hard time figuring out what was present and what was past and what was
That's fair.
So it was just jumping around all over the place.
Yeah.
But I got the whole gist of his story, like his whole flashback, his whole why he's on the boat.
Yeah.
So that's all like pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely don't have like those pinnacle things, like those two people that died at the end. I was like, okay, who are they?
Yep.
So
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
That's
it was like, were they a big
unfortunate,
deal?
but
Yep.
Fair.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, context would have helped you more here, but like, do you feel like the lack of context made it unwatchable?
No, but also like I think the lack of it being kind of clear on what was back and forth was like the mercenary team that's on the boat. That's who kills the people at the end, right?
I think so. Yeah.
That I didn't know that.
Yeah, because
To me, they're like at the same. Or sorry, to me it still doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Because Ben tells him like at what I don't know. See, like I don't listen. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know.
That's fair.
I'm lost.
Sure.
So
yeah. No.
All right.
no, but yeah, the timeline was all weird for me. So I didn't think that was those same people.
The same group. Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I watched an episode of a TV show and I found it entertaining
Okay.
for the entire time I was watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
I
good
wasn't
enough.
bored
That's good
by
enough.
any
Yep.
means.
Entertaining despite being lost. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
Despite being the show
Hey,
lost.
Mark, thanks for trying your best, man.
I'm glad you weren't bored.
No, I was definitely not bored at all. In fact, because I was so like I had no clue what was going on and people were dying and like truth bombs were being dropped, that bomb could have gone off and the ship blown up and I'd be like, cool, now what? I
Next scene.
wouldn't
Yeah. Yeah.
because no clue what kind of like, well, that person obviously can't die. So
Right.
Right.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah. I dig it. JP, what do you think?
Did not like it. Rousseau died.
Did not like it.
We had talked, was it last episode before or something, where we talked about like when plot points feel real soap opera-y.
Yep.
When like things all of a sudden are just happening that like had no setup. They're just happening for the sake of we didn't set anything else up, so it's just this is just what's happening right now. That's kind of how I felt about this one.
Okay.
Just too many like plot armor. It just needs to happen so that we can do something with Michael and somehow get him back on the island.
Yeah.
In one episode.
Sure.
And also Rousseau died.
Yeah.
Did I mention that I don't like it because Rousseau died? That was for such a bad bitch. She got such a fucking cheap death.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah, I agree.
So, what about you, Adam?
I got real mixed feelings about this because, like Mark, I was entertained by the show. Like Mark said earlier, this was something that easily could have taken way more time and been explained a lot better.
Yeah. His whole flashback could have been like an arc, in the background of a season for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Like JP said, the flashback felt very soap opera-y in the sense that there were a lot of convenient things happening. It reminded me of a time back when I was working at the park in college. I mean, I used to watch Days of Our Lives on my morning break. There was an arc that started on a Monday where they flashed back to like the 40s, and then just that week of the show was. The whole thing was in the 40s. They never went forward to like back to the present time. And then like on Friday, they cut back to present time, and the character was like, and that's what I remember about my grandmother or whatever. and this reminded me of that.
That's fair.
And then at the end, Carl got shot, and then Rousseau got shot. Major bummer. So it was
Major bummer.
It was a real roller coaster for me because at times I was flying, and there were other times where I couldn't have felt worse. So I'm going to give it, on the whole, an average. I'm going to give it a meh.
Okay.
That's what.
Can I remind you that Rousseau died?
Yeah.
Big fans of Rousseau on the show.
I mean, we love Rousseau here.
She's one of the best, and also wildly underdeveloped characters.
Yeah. Lost MVP is the next little bit of housekeeping we got to do here. Your favorite character, concept, joke of the show, minus your memories, minus your context. Mark, this should be relatively easy for you. Just this 45 minutes of television. Who is the Lost MVP?
My favorite character of the episode? Is that what we're
I
saying?
feel like I explained it pretty
Yeah,
clearly.
you did. No, I was... See, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening. Go ahead and say that again.
It can be a character. It doesn't have to be a character. It can be an actor. It can be just like a thing that happened. It can be... Character's easier than like an abstract concept. Because you could be like, my lost MVP is sea travel, and then you have to justify that.
Oh, I could write a fucking master's thesis on that shit.
Right. But if you were like, my lost MVP is Tom, because I like dudes that like grapes.
He's
Honestly,
gay.
he's-
He likes
yeah.
grapes. He's growing on me.
He's probably my favorite.
Yeah, Tom?
Yeah.
All right.
I think his acting is fine.
Yeah. I think he does the job that he needs to do in this episode perfectly fine. He comes in, he's on a little bit of vacation, he ropes Michael into the thing, and yeah.
And he is, to his name, he's always incredibly friendly.
All right, Tom friendly. I like it. JP.
Desmond.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Desmond.
Desmond's just observing. He's like, okay, I'm here. I will be helpful if you need me to. Other people seem to have stronger opinions on all of this than I do, so I'm just gonna stand over here.
Yep.
And I just love that about him. Desmond's a team player. He's sitting there looking for like a bottle of rum or something like that. And you know what? I'd be too.
He's the absolutely like the character of like after something bad happens and like a bunch of people die and the boat like blows up, the news get a hold of him. And they're like, so what happened? And he's like, whew, so much all the time.
It was pretty wild, let me tell you.
Let me tell you, yeah.
Adam.
Tom, Desmond. Those are good picks. Frank?
Ooh, yeah.
Which one was Frank?
Conspiracy Lapidus.
Yeah, he's the helicopter pilot, the guy the with the wild hair. Yeah. Honestly, I was like, there was something he did in this episode. He only had the one scene. It was the whole, those people who think that the moon landing is fake.
It's like that, but
It's
real.
like that for real. Like,
Yeah.
what a buck wild way to explain that to this random deckhand.
At least he has, like, he acknowledges that he's a conspiracy theorist, but he doesn't associate with the moon people.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, those people are nuts.
Those
It's
fucking
just like,
idiots.
those people who think that the moon landing wasn't real. That's silly. But however, the Earth is flat, and what we need to do is get to the end of it.
What we found out is that the oceanic flight actually flew off the edge of the planet because the planet is a large disk, sort of like a dinner plate.
This isn't one of those silly conspiracies.
Yeah, this isn't one of those silly conspiracies like the planet has a dome over it, because obviously the plane flew off the edge of the planet. It means there is no dome. I'm thinking ice wall. So yeah, Frank's awesome.
Love a good Frank. Frank's always a solid pick.
His hair and facial hair is like kind of gorgeous.
Oh yeah, because like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
ragged, but like
It isn't though. It's like
it's not though. Yeah.
Yeah.
In season 6,
It's
when
got
he's
that
got to
80s.
shave it off, it's jarring.
I love when he has to shave off the Van Dyke, but he leaves the sideburns.
yeah.
And he's still, and his long is like long but slicked back. Like he's like, look, you can only put so much of a harness on me.
Yeah.
The big dog's gonna hunt. Lost
Holy moly.
forever. The opposite side of this coin. King Suck of Shit Mountain. Your least favorite character, concept, joke, thing, scene. No context, no memory. Mark. Lost forever. Lost forever. Forever.
Is this the opposite of the other thing?
Christ on the cross.
Use context clues, Mark.
You should have got that coffee.
Yes. 100%. I've been doing off camera or off mic yawns this whole time.
Before we started
to
rolling,
be respectful.
Mark was like,
I
want to
came in and I was like, I need coffee so badly.
And then you said that you wanted to eat the microphone, and every time you
What?
yawned, it looked like you were trying to eat the microphone.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, the opposite of the last thing.
The writing.
Sure. That's fair.
In general,
The
I do
writing.
feel like, unlike, or maybe I did think about this with the Dave episode, I can't really remember, but like more than some other shows or more than some other episodes, maybe, this one specifically feels more like we have points and we don't know how to get to them.
Sure.
Versus like, you know what I mean? Like kind of like a backwards writing style versus forwards. And when
Yeah,
you do
totally.
it backwards, you're just like, we have a good end game in mind.
Right.
A little note's going to pop up out of a box. And that's how we get there.
Yeah. That had to make it past a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And they're all like, mm-hmm.
Because like we know that he needs to talk to Ben, and Ben needs to tell him that they're like, we know that conversation has to happen. They're like, that's a good conversation. I was like, yeah, I know, right. How does he talk to Ben though? And they're like, so I think it's like,
It's writing a script is not like doing a maze. Like starting at the end doesn't make it easier.
That's fair.
No.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah.
Having goals is important when you're writing, but yeah, I think you can't just like write backwards. I think that makes it tough. Yeah, the writing. That's a good one.
because usually those first pieces are like the real creative parts, and then the last ones are like the rushed bits.
right.
And that'll be it, period, right? Like
Sure.
so like the beginning bits of writing are always going to be the parts that you've probably been thinking about for a long time, and
Yeah.
you're like, I got to get this on paper. And then the end bits are like we do need this by Friday.
Right. The deadline comes.
Yeah.
In, then,
So it's like, what bits do you want to be in that
yeah.
last bit?
JP, who's your lost forever?
Let's see here. Elizabeth Sarnoff and Brian K. Vaughan.
Sure.
How fucking dare you do that to Russo? Are you kidding me? Are you like? And I understand. Life is, not everyone gets a great ceremonious send-off. Sometimes you just die while you're taking a dump. But, like, this is television. And Russo put in her fucking time. She put in, like, 16 years alone in the fucking jungle. And that's all she gets is to be shot by a bad shooter.
Yeah.
Fuck that. That really pisses me off.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair. That's fair.
Adam...
My lost forever is going to be Kimi because he's probably the one who shot Rousseau.
I mean, probably.
Even if he didn't actually pull the trigger, he's the leader of the mercenaries. So Kimi, you killed Rousseau. Now I know your job is to kill everybody on the island except for Ben, but like, fuck you. You shot Rousseau, and that sucks like a bunch.
Yeah.
So Kimi.
Man, this was an interesting one to get through.
Yep.
I know. I think there are two more scenes that I still know that I have seen from Lost that we haven't watched on the podcast yet. Because I think there's like another waltz scene somewhere in like season 5 or something like that. Or maybe I'm having a fever dream. But this was, I don't know, like obviously there's like some sort of other Michael stuff that's got to happen in season 4, but like this is probably his last big send off, I'm guessing, on the show.
This is his last centric episode, and he's in
yeah.
the rest of the episodes, not the rest of them, but in several of the remaining part of season 4.
Yeah.
So but
Yeah, it's very interesting. We've talked a lot about Michael's arc, and
we know he dies. We saw him
right.
as a ghost in the island in a
Right.
early season
Yeah.
6 episode. So we know, he dies in season 4.
But again, a character that was unfortunately underdeveloped, and then we're trying to rush a wrap up to him.
Wildly underdeveloped and begged to be better developed by the
Yes.
actor himself, and really only got so much. So
Mark, thanks for joining us, man. This was
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
this is
Pleasure having you
this was
back.
a tough one to get through, but I think you did it with grace and
Poise.
exactly.
I was going to say dignity, but that's not true.
That is no
dignity. Plenty of poise though.
plenty
Yeah.
of poise.
Plenty of grace.
Very
plenty of
demure.
poise. No dignity.
I did it the way that I think all content should be viewed
Yeah.
on my phone.
While you were watching a murder documentary on the main TV.
Well, no, my girlfriend had fallen asleep, which means it's AirPods and phone time.
I've only watched Dunkirk on a flight, like on the back of a fucking monitor that's in the seat in front of me, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, Christopher Nolan.
That's how he wanted it.
Hey, Adam, what are we watching next time?
This is a great question. If you want to be lost with us, come on back in a couple of weeks. We're going to be talking about season 4, episode 2, Confirmed Dead.
Oh.
Centric characters: Daniel Faraday, Charlotte Miles Strom, Frank Lapidus, Naomi Dorrit.
Did we not have Charlotte's last name?
I'm sure she's got one. Don't remember what it is. So come on back in a couple of weeks for that. And we're going to confirm some dead. And it's going to be a blast. Mikey T, Mike Trailer's coming back.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, we're just going to have a good old time here on Lost on Lost.
Just going to be guys being dudes.
And what's
better
than that?
Huh? Hey. What's better than that?
Mark,
Thank
you again.
Thank you, guys.
JP,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, an audience, thank you again for tuning into another episode of A Lost on Lost.
I'm Adam.
I'm JP.
Do you have any idea what's going on this show?
No.
Me neither. Lost on Lost is produced and edited by me and JP.
We wish to acknowledge that we live, work, and produce our show on occupied land.
Burbank, California is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Kizh, and Fernandino Tataviam peoples.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miama, and Ho-Chunk peoples.
And Lost was produced in Hawaii on the lands of the Kanaka Maoli.
Visit native-land.ca to learn more about the land you live and work on.
You can engage with us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at Lost on Lost 1.
You can also email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com or support us with dollar monies at coffee.com/wearelostonlost.
Thanks to Lostpedia and its community of contributors, Danny Schmitz, random.org, and as always, you the listeners for tuning in.
We're hosted at Podbean. You can hear us there or wherever you get your podcasts, except MySpace. We're not on MySpace.
Yet.